in plant. Now, if you talk about the transportation in plant, student, we have discussed earlier how plant take in simple compound such as CO2 photosynthesis energy is stored in their chlorophyll containing organs, namely leaves. The other kind of raw material needed for the building plant bodies will also have to be taken up separately. For plant, the soil is the nearest and richest source of raw material like nitrogen, phosphorus and other minerals. The absorption of these substances therefore occur through the part in contact with the soil, namely roots. If the substance between soil containing organ and chlorophyll containing organs are small, energy and raw material can easily diffuse to all parts of the plant body. But if these distance become large because of the change in the plant body design, diffusion process will not be sufficient to provide raw material in leaves and energy in root. A proper system of transportation is therefore essential in such situation. Energy needs differ between different body designs. Plants do not move and plant bodies have a large proportion of the dead cell in many tissue. As a result, plants have low energy needs and can use relatively slow transport system. The distance over which transport system have to operate, however, can be very large in plants such as very tall tree. Plant transport system will move energy stores from leaf and raw material from roots. These two pathways are constructed as independently organized conducting tubes. 1. The xylem move water and minerals obtained from the soil. The other phloem transport products of photosynthesis from the leaves where they are synthesized. To other part of the plant, we have studied the structure of these tissues in detail, class 9. So firstly we are going to study the transport of the water. So students, in xylem tissue vessels and tracheids of the root, stem and leaf are the interconnected to form the continuous system of the water conducting channel reaching all part of the plant. At the root, cell is contact with the soil activity take up the ion. This create a difference in the concentration of these ions between the root and the soil water therefore moves into the root from the soil to eliminate this difference. This means that there is steady movement of the water into root xylem, creating a column of water that is steady, pushes upward. However, this pressure by itself is unlikely to be enough to move water over the height that we commonly see in plant. Plant use another strategy to move water in the xylem upward to the highest point of the plant body. Provide that the plant has an adequate supply of water. The water which is lost through the stomata is replaced by water from the xylem vessels in the leaf. In fact, evaporation of water molecule from the cells of leaf creates suction which pulls water from the xylem cells of the root. The loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial part of the plant is known as transpiration. Thus, transpiration help in the absorption and the upward movement of water and mineral dissolve in it from the roots to the leaf. It also help in temperature regulation. The effect of the root pressure in the transport of water is more important at night. During the day, when the stomata are open, the transportation pull become the major driving force in the movement of the water and so transport of food and other substances. Students, here you see, so far we have discussed the transport of water and mineral in plant. Now let us consider how the products of the metabolic process, particularly photosynthesis, are moved from the leaf where they are formed to other part of the plant. This transport of the soluble products of photosynthesis is called translocations, and it occurs the part of the vascular tissue known as phloem. Beside the products of photosynthesis, the phloem transport amino acids and other substance. These substances are especially delivered to the storage organ of the root fruits and need and to growing organ. The translocation of the food and other substances takes place in the sheath tube with the help of adjacent companion cell both in upward and downward direction. Unlike transport in xylem, which can be largely explained by simple physical force, the translocation in the phloem is achieved by utilizing energy. Material like the sucrose is transferred into phloem tissue using the energy from ATP. This increases the osmotic pressure of the tissue, causing the water to move into it. This pressure moves the material in the phloem to tissue which have less pressure. This allows the phloem to move material according to the plant need. For example, in the spring, sugar stored in the root or the stem tissue would be transported to the buds which need energy to grow. So this was all about the transportation, students.